What's up, guys? You guys hear me? Alright, so this is my first stream. Trying to figure this out. I feel like there's a huge delay. I'm watching the live stream myself and it's like I don't know why there's like a 30-second delay, but I'm trying to figure this out. Oh, is it? Ah, I gotcha. I don't think I've honestly ever watched any live YouTube streams more than like 30 seconds, so I haven't really paid attention. I know when you're setting up, it gives you the option of, I think there's like a 30-second or a 60-second delay. So I made sure it said no delay, but I gotcha. Alright, cool. You guys got any questions? I know I feel like I've seen both of you comment on some of my videos. Do you guys have a clothing brand? Oh, I gotcha. Timing on this is probably gonna be way off if it's 40 seconds behind. It's all good though. I'll get used to it. What's the total ink starter kit? You mean for like a screen printing kit? Ah, I gotcha. Oh, heat press kit. Right. Jason, you are a screen printer? Or are you saying that's what you're gonna use? Do either of you guys have a website for your clothing brand, or you got the name and the logo and all that? About to launch transfers. Ah, cool. Well, that's definitely going to help out a lot if you already know how to screen print yourself. That'll certainly save you a lot of money. Full pro shop. That's pretty sweet. I definitely wish I had something like that. How long have you been screen printing for? Nick, are you gonna, as far as legal goes, are you going to register as a DBA or an LLC or what? What was your name, Remy? The name was Fifth Element. What's your brand about? Is it like a skateboarding brand or what? So Jason, you've been doing it since 2012, off and on. So you have quite a bit of experience then, sounds like. That's cool, man. I actually want to start experimenting a bit with transfers myself. DBA is it stands for doing business as. So if the clothing brand is just you, that's what I'd recommend starting with. An LLC is more for if you have employees, so I definitely wouldn't worry about that until your brand grows a little bit and you start hiring other people.
Recording.
You want to say hi?
What?
You want to say hi?
Hi.
Look. Can you see it right there?
Hmm? Hi.
Alright, bud. Go watch your tablet, okay?
It's not
You mean-
recording?
Yeah, it's recording right now. Do you mean can you switch from an LLC to a DBA? Got a list of 3 names, few logos. Yeah, definitely spend quite a bit of, definitely do your due diligence on all the research. That'll help a lot down the road. That's definitely something I wish I spent more time on when I started out. I definitely will, man. I'll shoot you an email because, like I said, I'm definitely interested in going the transfer route probably. I don't know how I feel about Printful because I actually got a couple more samples, and I love their hats like this one, but the shirts have been super inconsistent. Yeah, that's actually why I quit the little guy you just saw. That's why I changed the time of the stream like 2 different times. I was going to do it at 12 when he normally goes down for a nap, but he was not feeling a nap today, so eventually I just changed it to 2. Keep your money. Yeah, man. I agree with you on that one. Like I've said in some of my videos, I've had pretty mixed results with screen printing shops. I found a good one around here for the most part, but yeah, doing it yourself is definitely the more cost-efficient way to go. And you have a lot more control over the whole process. Yeah, that's actually a good suggestion by Jason about spelling it different. That's definitely one option to take. Yeah, that's another reason I was saying make sure you do a lot of research beforehand, because you don't want to. I've seen it happen with a ton of companies where you start making stuff, and once you start actually making a real profit and growing your brand, that's when the other brand that has a similar logo or the same name or something will come in and either send you a cease and desist, or they'll try and sue you for profits. So definitely make sure that the name's not taken and there's no copyright issues or trademark issues. I don't know how many other ways you could spell Fifth Element. You said it's the name of a movie? Yeah, you could, I don't know. How'd you come up with the Fifth Element in the first place? Like, does it have any personal significance or something?
Is it not recorded?
It is, it's recording right now.
I can't talk to it. I can't talk on that.
Jax, go watch your tablet, okay? That's definitely one way that you could handle that problem as far as the name goes. You could, like the other guys are suggesting, spell it in a different way. But you also got to factor in that that might be confusing for like customers if you're just trying to grow by word of mouth, and then you say, you know, you're telling people it's Fifth Element. Obviously, they're going to go to Google and type in Fifth Element, and if it's spelled a different way, that might be hard for some people to find. You know, once the brand's established, it wouldn't be a problem. I actually like that. The 4 elements are 4. That's cool, man. I like the meaning behind it, but it could be tricky to grow it if you grow it spell it a different way. You also may not have a problem as far as the movie name goes. I'm not sure the exact all the legal stuff regarding that, but I gotta imagine there's there's hundreds of thousands of movie names. I gotta imagine some of them are also the name of, you know, clothing brands or different brands. So I'm not really sure what if that'd be a problem or not. But I just googled Fifth Element real quick, and looks like a store in Minneapolis, Minnesota also popped up. So I mean, you could have problems with something like that. I don't know if like I said, the movie name might not be a problem, but this Fifth Element looks like it's some type of clothing store, so you could have a problem with that. Yeah, man, like what I was saying about the spelling, it's just mostly Google and like SEO stuff, but also the word of mouth thing. But obviously, Google, as far as search engines go, it's not going to be very friendly to like odd spellings of names. Which, if you want to get like organic search traffic based on whatever industry your clothing brand's about, then it might make it a little more difficult. Like if you have a skateboard brand or something and people are typing in Google like skateboard clothing brand, you know, something like that, it could be a problem. Yeah, that's pretty true. If the .com isn't taken, it's probably available as far as the brand name goes. You can also go to uspto.gov, and I'm pretty sure you can search. Yeah, you can search the trademark database. So that's probably the first thing I'd recommend doing. That just really sucked to grow a brand to the point where it starts making like a decent to good income, and you have a nice little, you have a nice following, and then some brand with the same name comes in on nowhere and sues you for, you know, a boatload of money. If you're talking about me, I'm in Orlando, Florida. Where it pours rain for like an hour a day, every single day during the summer. Good times. Dang. 100 degrees, man. Yeah, it's probably 90 something here, but 100, yeah, not about that life. If someone claims they trademarked a name through LegalZoom, and when I go search the files, yeah, I mean if it's not listed in the database, then it's not official, so it doesn't really matter. I mean, they'll still get, you might have people get pissed off at you, but you know, if they didn't legally register it, then you're not obligated not to use it. What name are you talking about? No trademark under the Fifth Element name? The Social. I feel like I've heard of it before. Honestly, I don't really go out too much anymore these days. So as far as the nightlife goes, I'm definitely not the right person to ask. Sounds familiar though. Oh, music venue. I just saw a couple comments up where you said played the Social. I gotcha. Yeah, I don't know. I'm still not too familiar with the music venues. What's up, Gus? Are you getting disconnected? How is the Limitless going? You mean my clothing brand? Nice. What kind of music did your band play? It's going not as it's going good, parts of it, but like I was saying earlier, the shirt thing is frustrating. I was like this close to deciding to kind of do a trial with Printful for a couple new designs, but then I ordered a few more samples and the quality is really inconsistent, and I didn't really feel comfortable with putting L3's name on their stuff. So for the time being, I'm probably just gonna release some stickers and some more hat designs until I get the shirt thing figured out. But like I was saying, I think the next step is probably gonna be trying out transfers. I've heard a lot of good things about it. Pop punk kind of stuff. I gotcha. That's cool, man. Did you get to tour a lot of the country doing that? Yeah, I know what you're saying about the printing thing. I don't want to get my clothing brand's reputation ruined because of, you know, some third-party country or some third-party company that's the printing's out of my control. I was always sketched out about not being able to see the products before they go out to customers. And the first couple samples I got were good, but the ones after that, not so much. Ah, nice. So you've been all over. That's pretty sweet. Shucks. Stop in that guy. You eat all your fruit snacks? They good? What's WPB? West Palm Beach. What are your thoughts on getting into retail boutique stores as soon as brick and mortar is dying? Yeah, man. I think it's really risky. It's something that was a goal of mine for a long time, and for a while I was reaching out to a lot of like the smaller skate shops and surf shops, since there's a ton of them in Florida. But I feel like the brick and mortar model is definitely dying, and it's just really risky, especially the bigger brick and mortars, because you gotta supply so much product up front, and obviously they buy it at a wholesale cost, so your margins aren't nearly as high as they would be if you're just selling them through your website. West Palm's a sweet area, man. I was there a couple weeks ago. There's some massive houses around there. I still feel like seeing your brand in like a big name store would be pretty cool to see, but I think the best way to go about growing your brand, especially at the beginning, is just to sell it yourself through your online store. Yeah, man, the skate shops around here, it's the same problem. I mean, there's surf shops all over the place, and I feel like every time I go to the coast, I feel like another one's closed. And every time you go in there, there's, at least for me, it seems like just less and less people. It sucks because that's what I grew up with, was, you know, brick and mortars and like shopping malls. Like the dream back then was to see your brand in, you know, the big name stores, but who knows what the future is going to hold for that. Yeah, I'm with you on that. The more Amazon grows, I think the more people are just going to pretty much only do online shopping. Especially now that Amazon offers like some stuff you can get the same day you order it. And there's already been a ton of retail stores, I think, that have went bankrupt pretty recently. I mean, people obviously aren't going to stop buying clothing, but I feel like there's already been a huge shift to online, and I don't see that changing anytime soon. Are you going to use Shopify for your website? Yeah, man, Amazon's really taken over everything. It's crazy how much they've grown. And it's impossible for some of these other companies to compete with the shipping that Amazon offers. Hey.
I'm watching this.
It's funny you should bring that up too, because I don't think I've talked about it in any of my videos, at least not that I can remember, but I applied for, have you heard of Merch by Amazon? It's like their print-on-demand service. I applied like, I feel like it was 3 months ago or something, and I just got an email a couple weeks ago that said I finally got accepted. So I'm thinking about trying that out. I'll be right back.
What are you doing?
I'm still recording, so you gotta go on here.
What?
You gotta record it, come over here, but I'm still recording.
I was watching this. You got me.
you have to apply. I guess they got so many people to sign up at first. Originally, I think anyone could sign up, and then they changed that concept to you had to actually apply for the program. So that's what I did, and I hadn't heard anything for months, but I finally got an email that said you get like accepted to their program. So I haven't tried it out yet, but I think you can upload like 10 designs at once or something like that. But of course, it's just another something similar to Printful where they use direct-to-garment printing too. But the good thing about that is that I won't. I can just pretty much design anything I want to and sell it, and it won't be under L3's name, so I don't have to risk, you know, my clothing brand's reputation. What's up, Jose? Hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. I've actually never used heat press. I used screen printing for most of my designs. Hey, what's going on, Samuel? Yes. Did you specify which is 3D puff and which is flat print? Yeah, so I designed this hat through Printful, and the text right here, the Limitless text, is 3D puff, and the little rectangle border surrounding it is just the flat thread. Which honestly, for as sketched out as I am about Printful's t-shirts, they do a really good job with the hats. I've ordered 3 separate hats from them, and the thread quality or the embroidery on all of them has been really good. The margins obviously aren't quite where they'd be if you just ordered hats from a different company in bulk. But did you put it in a note or? Yeah, I actually put it in a note, and when I design the hat, it gives you the option of 3D puff, flat thread, or what they call partial 3D puff. So I clicked partial 3D puff, and then I put in the notes which you know, what part of the design should be what. And there's also an area where you can select what colors you want to use for the different thread options they give you. When you first started, did you trademark everything off the bat? No, I actually waited a long time. Honestly, right when I started out, my designs were pretty awful, and I didn't know if it was really something that I would stick with. So I waited until I actually started consistently getting some sales. Do I have local embroidery, people? No, I wish I did. I've used for. Let me grab the other hats real quick. So for these hat designs, which were the first hat designs that I think I released on L3 or under L3 Apparel, I used a website. I think it was called like customsnapbacks.com, which I would absolutely not recommend. I think honestly that Printful's embroidery quality is a lot better, and custom snapbacks was a nightmare to deal with. I wish I need to get local embroidery people though. Yeah, that would definitely help my margins. I think buying your own heat press and using transfers is definitely what I would do if I had to start all over again. I think that's the most cost efficient method, since you have a lot more control over your inventory. Because if you outsource everything to a screen printing shop, then you have to order so much inventory up front. You got to meet their minimums, which right when you're starting out, you know, it can be a huge upfront cost. If I know my name logo will be a great hit, do you recommend trademark right up from the start? It really just depends what your budget is. If you know 100% that is something you'd want to stick with, then trademarking is going to be a necessary cost for sure. But if you don't know whether or not it's something that you're going to stick with, I'd recommend holding off on that a little bit. I'm just testing stuff out using Teespring, but how would I go about getting my stuff advertised? Social media, 100%. Instagram, in my opinion, is going to be your best tool for marketing, with Facebook being a somewhat close second. I think Instagram is definitely the #1 tool, though, for sure. Yeah, like Jason was saying, I wouldn't worry too much about the trademarking thing, unless, like I said, it's something you're 100% know that you're going to stick with. Because that's just at the very least a couple $100 that, you know, could go towards actual inventory. Excuse the car sounds you guys hear in the background. Son's playing with Lightning McQueen or something. I have an Amazon merch account, not a business account. Can I link this to WooCommerce or WordPress? I don't think so. I think Amazon, I'm not sure though, to be honest. Do you mean a merch by Amazon account? In USA, if I used it first, it's mine legally. Let's say I would research that. If you have already been doing business under that name, you have more grounds for using that name legally than someone else. Yeah, I wouldn't even worry that much at all about copywriting specific designs. I think they're really hard to get a copyright on. If you have some that are, you know, bringing in a ton of profit, then yeah, that'd be something worth pursuing. Yes. I get all my stickers now from stickermule.com. Merch by Amazon. So I actually just got accepted to Merch by Amazon a week or two ago, and I started doing a little bit of research. So as far as I know, you can't link that to WordPress. I think you can only sell it through Amazon's actual website. There you go, the poor man's copyright. Yeah, like I was saying, if you actually start doing business and you have proof of doing business under that name, that can help you a lot in the future if you actually do have any problems with it. If you own the domain name and it's the same name, that would definitely help you too. What, bud?
I think it's supposed to come off right here.
Let me see it.
Right here.
I don't think it comes out stuck to the book.
No, look on the back.
Alright, give me a couple minutes, okay?
Can I just play?
Yeah.
Can I get off?
I'll be right back, guys. Sorry. I'll be right back again. What, bud? What? Alright, let's see. Jose, how did you start off? What do you mean exactly? You mean how did I start selling things, or where did I start selling things? If you're talking about products, I definitely recommend starting out with t-shirts, hats, and stickers for sure. I think they're the easiest products to sell and grow a brand off of. Could a Teespring a shirt, like send them a logo to print on a shirt and send it to myself? Oh, I'm not sure. How do you package sweaters? Same way as your shirts. Yeah, I would do it the same way. You just use bigger mailers. I've never actually done sweaters, but I have sold hoodies. So you just use bigger poly bags and bigger poly mailers, depending on obviously how big the sweatshirt was. Back to the copyright thing, I don't know, I don't want to give you advice on something and then, you know, turn out to be wrong. For all the legal stuff, I use LegalZoom. You know, unless you have money that you can actually afford a lawyer, and then obviously you could consult them and all that stuff, but I don't want to start giving stuff out and then it be wrong. Yeah, Jason, I'm with you on that thing. I've done so much research on Google for myself, but still, you know, it doesn't mean everything obviously you read on the internet's 100% correct. So that's why I use LegalZoom, because then I don't have to worry about it. I have it on my conscience. They handle all that stuff. Are you worried about like the trademark for your clothing brand name, or the like a copyright for a specific design? Ah, sweet man, I appreciate that. If you're talking about back to BAM, if you're talking about, now I'm like completely lost on what exactly you guys are talking about, whether it's trademark for your clothing brand, the actual brand name, or if you're talking about a copyright for, you know, like a specific t-shirt design. If you're talking about a copyright, then I would check out that link. That should help clear it up a little bit. I've honestly, if you're talking about online, like using LegalZoom, I've always heard good things about it. I've never heard anyone getting denied, unless, you know, obviously the trademark was already taken. But you can look that stuff up. You know, I didn't have a problem with it, but I have no idea what the cost for a trademark attorney would be. Like I said, man, as far as the legal stuff goes, definitely not all too knowledgeable on that. Because that lawyer wants you to pay. Yeah, man, in my experience, lawyers can be quite pricey. The only lawyers I've dealt with had to do with some type of vehicle related things. So, you know, as far as trademarking goes, I mean, I'd imagine it'll be a lot more expensive than LegalZoom. Which print-on-command company do you use most? Printful.com by far. But like I was saying earlier in this stream, as far as the embroidery and hats go, I think they do an incredible job. I've ordered 3 different samples for hats. This is one of them. Let me grab one of the other ones. This is one of the other ones. And I don't have the third one with me right now, but the embroidery's been top notch. They have a ton of different options for hats, so I would definitely give them a thumbs up with embroidery. But t-shirts is kind of hit or miss. They do a better job than other companies as far as t-shirts and direct-to-garment printing. I've ordered samples from Teespring, and wasn't the best experience in the world. I've also used customink.com, who's not a fulfillment company, but they do use direct-to-garment printing, and their designs, the quality is pretty terrible too. So Printful, out of all the direct-to-garment samples I've ever ordered, Printful, theirs were definitely the best. What were the negatives with Printful? I'm just honestly, for like direct-to-garment printing, if you're just comparing it to other t-shirts that were printed using direct-to-garment, I wouldn't say there really was any negatives. it's just like the print quality when I'm comparing it to some other designs that were screen printed. It's just it's not quite high enough quality that I feel comfortable selling under my clothing name's brand. Like, I think if you watched my Printful review video, I said the quality, honestly, from when I first ordered a direct-to-garment shirt maybe like 3 years ago, the quality's come a long way, and it's a lot better than it used to be. But it's still not, at least in my opinion, it's not like close enough to screen printing that I feel 100% comfortable selling it as an L3 product. And I ordered like 2 different samples of the exact same shirt, and they looked a little bit different. Like the design on the front was pretty big, but in one of the samples it was like really splotchy and grainy and stuff, and the other one looked a lot better. But I just hate the idea of not being able to see the product, you know, before your customers see it, and not really having too much control over the quality control aspect. But like I said, they do the best job from what I've seen compared to other direct-to-garment companies, or any of the like custom apparel or fulfillment companies. And I still think if you have no budget at all or a really small budget, I think that's the best route to go for sure, as far as starting and growing a brand goes. That's why earlier I was saying that I think the next thing I want to try is the plastisol transfers, because then I have a lot more control over inventory, and I can still print it on demand myself. Hold on, here. So I can still, you know, print orders on demand, which is why I liked the Printful thing, but the quality is just going to be a lot higher. Another tiny thing that really bothered me about Printful, that honestly probably wouldn't bother a lot of people, is you can't print something on the back, like a small little logo on the back of the shirt, and a size label too. You can only do one or the other, which kind of sucks because I like to have custom size labels on my shirts, but I also like to put a little like L3 logo right on the back, the neck area, and Printful doesn't let you do that. No, there is front and back printing with Printful. Like, you can print a design on the front. Yeah, I don't remember what the print area is. I think it's 12 inches by 16 inches. So it's a pretty good sized print area. And the back print area, I want to say, is around the same. But they won't let you print like the size label on the inside of the shirt and print a tiny logo on the back. You can do like the full size back print and the size label, but then that's going to cost quite a bit more. And if you do that, honestly, you're not going to make any money off the shirts. Yeah, man, I really need to. That's definitely going to be my focus going forward, is learning all the things that go into the plastisol transfers. No problem, life misspelled. I hope that answered your question. Printful, you can do like I think the max print area, they give you an option of doing like a 3x3, what they call an outside size label, I think, on the back, which is pretty much just, you can put like your logo there, like you see on a lot of clothing brands, shirts. And they charge you, I don't remember what it is, say like $1.50 for that or $3.50 for that or something. And then they charge you the same for what they call the inside size tag, which is just like your normal printed size tag. But they won't let you do both of them. And then if you do like the full size back print, it's like an extra $7 instead of the $3. Yeah, another reason I want to do the transfers is because I want to start messing around with the like sleeve logos and prints, and just gives you a lot more flexibility over where you can print stuff. Samuel, what's a good price for hats? Do you mean to purchase the hats or sell them? What do you mean by a couple dollars and you'll have like 15? So selling price for hats, for snapbacks, if you're using a high quality brand like FlexFit or Upalm, I would shoot for between 20 to 30. If it's like a truly customized hat, aim more towards 30. If it's just like this hat, where you got the design on the front right here, and then you also got, you know, something on the side like a side logo, I'd probably aim around $25. And then maybe if you use a cheaper brand, $20. I'd really just experiment with it. It also obviously depends how much you're buying the hats for. You know, if you're ordering them wholesale and you're buying a couple hundred at a time, then obviously you're gonna be able to set your make your margins a lot higher. But if you're getting them through Printful, I think this hat, I want to say it's like $17.50 for the front design and then the side design. So, you know, you can mark it up to whatever you want, depending on what you want your margins to be. Which brands? I mean, I'd recommend, if you're gonna sell the snapbacks, I'd recommend sticking with FlexFit and Upalm. I think they also have Otto though, which is a pretty good brand as well. They have a ton of options. That's why I like Printful. There's a ton of different colors. But yeah, like I was saying, if you use, this is a Upalm hat. So if you got the front design or front logo and then the side design, I think it costs $17.50 to me, and I mark it up to $25, which is a pretty standard price for a Upalm snapback. Oh yeah, man. Jason, yeah, that's another reason I want to go with transfers. I think it's just the most cost efficient way that I can still have more control over the quality of the product. And like I said, I've heard good things about it. If you got some samples, man, I definitely love to see them. I'll shoot you an email after I wrap up this stream, which I'll probably do around, I don't know, 3:30 or so. So I gotta take my dog out in a couple minutes. Yeah, no problem, Samuel. If you got any more questions about Printful as far as their hats go, feel free to email me or drop a comment on any of my videos. I'm a huge fan of their hats. Like I said, their embroidery is really high quality, and I think it definitely matches up or beats some of the other brands, or not brands, but companies I've worked with regarding embroidery. And honestly, the margins aren't bad, considering that you don't have to carry any inventory, or you don't have to deal with the risk of taking on a bunch of inventory that you can't move. Yeah, local embroidery is definitely something I'll have to look into. The screen printing shop I use around here, there's one in Orlando, which is right by my house, and they're called Threadbird. So they do embroidery and hats too, but honestly, I think they're quite a bit overpriced. So I think, yeah, a local shop would probably be the next option to look at. Yeah, man, all the Printful hats that I've got look really good in person. I have quite a few, like I was saying, different options for the colorways, a bunch of different brands that you can use, and they have like, I think 10 or so different thread colors you can choose from. Yeah, Threadbirds, they're actually a really big screen printing shop. The cool thing about them being local is I can check out their whole like warehouse and stuff in person. The bad part is gotta pay sales tax when I do place orders with them. And they're definitely not the cheapest, but the quality is really good and their communication is amazing, so I have nothing but good things to say about them. Jason, did I ask you before? I feel like I asked you earlier if you were going to use Shopify. I think you probably answered me at some point, but I was probably reading something else. Yeah, man, you can't, I would say you can't really go wrong with Shopify. If you have experience with web design and you know what you're doing, I would recommend going with WordPress and WooCommerce, because then you actually own the website and you have more control over it in the long run. And honestly, it's cheaper in the long run. But as far as getting a shop up and running the quickest, easiest, and it still looks professional and functions really good. I would say Shopify is probably your best option. You can also do a trial with Shopify and WooCommerce. WordPress and WooCommerce is free as well. So you can always check both of them out and see which one you like best. But like I said, if you don't know anything about web design, I would definitely just go with Shopify. Playing ice hockey. It's funny you should say that, man. I play hockey all the way up through college, man. I lived and breathed hockey until I was like 23 or so. Then I got into the clothing brand thing and I haven't played too much since. Unfortunately, I'd love to get back into it, but all my free time is pretty much spent on business stuff. Yeah, man, I grew up in right outside of Detroit, Michigan, so that was like life for a lot of people around there. So yeah, I grew up playing hockey. I played probably from 4 years old or so, so like I was saying, until I graduated college. Can't agree with you on the Pens thing. I'm a Wings fan, so you guys are like our arch rivals. We're having some rough times now. I gotcha. It makes sense why you're a Pens fan. You guys got a good team, man. I'm jealous. The Wings had a huge streak going on, like 27 years in a row making the playoffs. Then our owner dies and the streak ends. Now I think we have a lot of rebuilding years ahead of us, which makes watching them kind of rough. Now I live somewhat close to where the Tampa Bay Lightning play. Nice. I have a Wings logo on the back of my car too. Not quite 20 inches though. Where do you live now, Jason? You said you live in Jersey, I think, right? Yeah, I'm not a huge fan of Jersey myself. I feel you on that one. That's cool. Then you probably caught a lot of Islanders game when you were little. How you feel about Jersey is pretty much how I feel about Ohio. gonna try and turn this stream into a weekly thing. Need to advertise and market it a little better and stick with the starting time. But now that I actually somewhat know what I'm doing with it, I think I'm gonna try and turn it into a weekly thing. And the only reason I don't like Ohio is because I'm a University of Michigan fan. And not a big fan of Ohio State. Other than that, though, I like Cedar Point. Yeah, man, more subs will be sweet. The more, the merrier. I'm trying to branch out a little bit from the how-to clothing brand stuff. Try and grow my channel a little bit by venturing out and covering some more topics. I think I'll start doing a little bit more tutorials too. Yeah, Cedar Point is definitely sweet. I can't say anything bad about that. I'm probably gonna wrap up the stream for today now, but like I said, I definitely want to turn this into a weekly thing. I'll try and come up with some more topics and make this a little more organized. Today was just trying to figure out how to do the stream pretty much. How many products do you sell on Printful? Right now I only sell hats through Printful, which at the moment I'm only selling one. I'm about to put this one up in the next week or so. And marketing, so I sell the hat on Printful through my website, so it's appears the same as any other product on my website does, and the rest of the products I have inventory at my house and I fulfill those orders myself. So to a customer, the hat that I sell through Printful looks the exact same as the other products, just obviously Printful fulfills that. So I handle marketing the same way for all of them, just through social media, and Instagram is, in my opinion, the #1 tool for clothing brands. And Facebook's important as well, but I think Facebook advertising is not quite as effective as it used to be. Yeah, I've never been to OSU, man. I could never bring myself to go into Columbus. I went to some OSU Michigan games, football games back in the day in Ann Arbor, but couldn't bring myself to go into Columbus. What were you trying to sell on Facebook? T-shirts or hats or what? And do you sell them through your own website, or how do you sell them? A merch by Amazon account? Is he a goalie for the University of Michigan? If so, it's pretty sweet. I used to go to, back when I was a kid, I went to like every single one of their games. So you sold t-shirts using merch by Amazon? Or what do you mean by merch account? Oh, okay, I gotcha. Merch by Amazon. So you had a Shopify website, but you actually got the t-shirts produced through merch by Amazon. I don't know, man. I would definitely do Instagram, like I said, because if you did I'm guessing you're talking about you used Facebook targeted ads, which I feel like they used to be a lot more effective than they are now, because I don't think as many people, at least customers you're looking for, probably use Facebook. Or I won't say that. The customers for my clothing brand, I feel like it's easier to interact with them on Instagram than Facebook. I used to use Facebook targeted ads a lot because it was really easy to target like the exact people, you know, the exact customers you were looking for, but I feel like over time that got less and less effective. But back when I did it, I just ran $5 daily ads, and I had some success with it. But it's really about just making sure you're targeting the right people and just doing a ton of testing. And obviously you gotta make sure the product's on point too. Back when I was doing it, honestly, as far as like my t-shirt designs go, they were pretty bad, so I wasn't having too much success with it, but a lot of it was just the products weren't where they need to be. Back when I actually had a lot of inventory, some weeks, like right when I would release new stuff, good weeks would clear maybe a couple $100. But unfortunately, when I was actually moving stuff good like that, I wasn't pouring all the money back into the business, so don't really have the money to pour into inventory at the moment. Printful integrated with Weebly. Yeah, I'm not familiar with Weebly, but my experiences with Printful have been pretty good. Definitely their hats, their shirts. The cool thing about Printful is they allow you to order samples. So I think you can order up to like 7 products and you get like 25% off or something for a sample order. I think they're definitely worth testing out. Jason, as far as figuring out how much you need to move to make it worth it, I mean, that just really, I guess that depends what your definition of being worth it is. Like if you're trying to make it your full-time job, and yeah, obviously you're gonna have to, you know, make a decent amount, but if it's more of a hobby that you're trying to grow into, you know, eventually a full-time job, then you never really know until, you know, you test it out. I'll tell you what though, it took quite a while before I actually made any profit at all. But like I was saying, a lot of that I would attribute to the t-shirt designs just being terrible. Right when I started out, I had no graphic design knowledge at all, so I was just learning as I went, and some of the earlier products were pretty awful. Samuel, I'd recommend ordering some samples. Like I said, you can, once you sign up for a Printful account, you can place a sample order, and I think you can order up to either 5 or 7 products. So I would just do that, man, and check out, so you can check out the products for yourself and see what you think of it. And if you're happy with the quality, then you know, just doing a test run and see how customers respond to it. The good thing is you don't have to order inventory, so there's not really much risk associated with it, you know, because there's no upfront costs. You can also, I did, I think 2 or 3 review videos of Printful, so you can see a couple shirts samples that I ordered along with the hats. If you want to, also feel free to send me pictures. You can email me pictures of your hat designs, shirt designs, or whatever if you want my input or feedback. My email, if you want to do that, it should be listed in the description for this stream. I'll type out my email real quick. So if you guys have any questions, man, feel free to either leave me a comment on a video or just shoot me an email about anything, and I'll try and give you guys my feedback. I'm gonna wrap the stream up for now, though. I'm gonna go take my dog for a walk and entertain my child. So I appreciate you guys watching. Like I was telling Jason earlier, I'm definitely gonna make this a weekly thing. Hopefully next week's stream will be better, more organized, and I'll try and come up with some topics to talk about. But in the meantime, like I was saying, if you got questions, just shoot me an email, and I'll try and get to those sometime later today. I gotta work on my website a little bit in the meantime and work on some t-shirt designs. Do appreciate you guys hanging out, though. Alright, Samuel, cool. Yeah, send me an email, and I'll check my emails tonight, and I'll get back to you guys either tonight or tomorrow morning for sure. But I'm gonna wrap this up here for now. So thanks for hanging out, and I will, like I said, respond to your emails, and I'll hopefully catch you guys in the next stream. I'm gonna make it like an event page. I'll try and give you more of a heads up in a couple hours, and I'll let you guys know when I'm streaming next. It'll probably be either, I might keep it a Monday thing, I don't know, but like I said, I'll try and give you guys everyone a couple days notice and make an events page. Right on, Jason, that's the thing. Just trying to keep moving forward, keep growing this thing, keep growing my channel, helping you guys out. So with that said, I'm going to close this up, and I'll catch you guys in next week's stream, hopefully. Enjoy the rest of your day. Like I say in all my videos, stay limitless.